Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. How are you all? Let me know in the comment section down below, but happy Saturday. I'm back with the silicone inlay. If you missed the last video, go check it out. I loved it. I actually DIY'd a silicone inlay from a mould and I created a crystal clear, stunning piece. Then I was really like itching to do a black and gold piece, but I'm not gonna lie, I have been struggling. I have really been struggling with this one. In today's video, we're going to be using gold foil, but the reason I've been struggling is because I have loved this one so much. I feel like there's a billion different ways you could do it. Straight away, I went with gold and black, but then I was thinking, what if we used silver mica on the inlay and then put that in a layer of clear, then crunched up some silver tin foil, put that in the back? Like, what would that look like? Then I was thinking I could just mica powder the whole thing, forget the tin foil. Then I was thinking I could just put black in the whole thing. And then I've got this absolutely beautiful sheet of druzy. This is from Moulds and Shapes, same as the round mould that I'm using in today's video. Moulds and Shapes have got this giant cut your own design druzy sheet. So I was thinking, what if, what if I then did an outline of druzy, so the inlay would be cut into the druzy. I'd draw around it, and the ideas were coming thick and fast, and that is what is so hard. I don't have the time to do 5 or 6 different designs in one video because these are all multiple layer pieces. Equally, I wish I had 5 inlays and 5 molds so I could do them all. Let me know your thoughts. Which one of them would you like to see? Because I feel like I'm kind of not done with this. Equally, I don't want to bore you guys to tears by doing the same thing in every video. It's not really my style. Now, to the inlay. This time around, I decided we're going black and gold. Black and gold is a classic combination. You cannot go wrong. And my initial thoughts were to coat the DIY silicone inlay in gold foil. Now, foil itself sticks to silicone like a dream, so I knew it would work. First up, I put my silicone inlay down onto some tape. Now, if I'm honest, I don't think that was a necessary step. All that did was waste my foil because then my foil stuck to it. So I definitely wouldn't do this again if I was to do this. I would just put the inlay down on my silicone mat on my desk and do it that way. Or would I? I don't know. I'm worried about all the foil that I've lost doing it this way. I mean, the foil itself is cheap, so let's not dwell, Claire. I'm using a gorgeous fat kind of fluffy soft brush to press the gold foil down onto the silicone inlay, just making sure that the gold foil itself is getting into all of those nooks and crannies. Now, initially it went on like a dream, an absolute dream. There were definitely areas, there were gaps because I could see the yellow poking through. I didn't really want, that was never my intention to have gaps. However, it soon became clear that I was not going to cover this whole entire silicone inlay. Could I use spray adhesive? Maybe, yes. Could I use some other form? Yes, maybe I could. There's a billion things I could have done, but I didn't. And yeah, as you can see here, there was yellow showing all the way around the edges. So all I could really do at this point was do my best to cover as much of that DIY silicone ammonite as I could. And it wasn't long before I decided I'm just gonna, what's the word? let go a bit and accept the fact that I am gonna definitely not have a fully gold ammonite in here, but you can still see some yellow poking through. This is the stage where the gold just refused to stick to any more pieces, but it's all good. It is all going to be pretty regardless. So yeah, it's time to lay my inlay down. Now, the gold foil itself is a little bit flyaway, so there was a bit of cleanup, just using a little bit of tape. Be very careful not to take it off the inlay, just take it off the mold. And actually, this step didn't really matter because again I changed my mind. I've pressed the inlay quite firmly down into the mould. Initially I was just gonna go with a jet black background, that's it. So a really thin layer of resin to grip that inlay in place. I can't fill it up at this point. If you've missed the last couple of videos, go check them out. I got an inlay stuck. it's going to float, so don't do that. We just want a thin layer of resin at this stage to pin it. And I was just going to do black and gold, and then I thought, actually, how pretty would it be if the first layer, the layer that's gripping the inlay, was clear with gold foil in there, gold flakes. Now, the reason I don't like these sheets of gold is because they don't break up as well. It's ideally, I want to buy some extra gold flakes so that they're already flaky. But yeah, give it a good stir and a good mix, and you can break it as much as possible. So the first layer, this is the first layer that's going to grip the inlay, is now going to be clear and gold. You can see why I was struggling. I was struggling so much with this because when you've got 7, 8, 9 different methods, different techniques, different ideas for the same thing, what one do you do? What one do you do? So I had to go with what it was that was making my heart kind of pound at the time, and this was it. So the first layer of resin is in. I am still going to use a weighted bottle of pigment to hold my inlay down because I have a bit more resin that needs to be used up in that cup and I want to use it all. So I figured I can if I use my weighted down pigment bottle. Now, this is a package I got from Crafty. This video is not sponsored by Crafty, but Crafty sent me this package months ago, and I honestly owe them an apology because I haven't used them yet. I have shown it on my YouTube shorts, and I've shown them on my Instagram stories. I've reshared and reshared so that I can kind of say, sorry, I haven't used them yet. My plan was to go through the box and see if there was anything in there that would work with my colorways. There were gold hearts, but they were very rainbow-esque, and I wasn't really looking for rainbow. But look at these colours. They've got gorgeous polymer clay pieces. They've got some shimmery glitters. At the bottom of this box, they've also got some gorgeous ombre tassels. And at the time, there was nothing really that was going to work with this. I just remember there was gold in there. It wasn't the right gold, but I wanted to keep the footage in because I really do need you guys to go check out Crafty as well. I'm not sponsored by them, but they sent me these beautiful things. What I know I will be using them for is autumn and Halloween because they've got some stunning reds, oranges and greens in there, and I honestly cannot wait. This is about 5 to 6 hours later. I decided not to wait overnight for the next pour. I came back up, the resin was pretty solid, like it was so hot on this day. It was pretty solid, so I knew that I could now back this and it would be okay. So again, this is the backing colour in black. I just felt like it would work beautifully against the gold, giving it a bit of a torch with my long neck lighter. And Bob's your uncle. It is that simple. This is 24 hours later, and we're going to see what it looks like from covering that inlay in the foil. And I was really and truly hoping for a lot more coverage than we got, but I still love it. This is what we're looking like with the black and gold. The resin is crystal clear. I'm not sure if I mentioned it, but I used the Let's resin. Crystal clear, absolutely beautiful crystal clear resin. And this is what we are looking like under the ammonite. Now, my first initial thoughts were, I think I would have liked more coverage. But the more I stared at it and the more I really just studied it, I think the fact that there are areas missing really, really works better than if it was actually full. Because it draws your eye and you can see so much more depth in that inlay. Again, this would be a trinket dish if you are new here and you're wondering. If you hadn't seen the last video, these are all trinket dishes. The one thing I forgot to do was where the resin meets the resin. So when I poured the black onto the clear, I forgot to go around with my micro brush. And lo and behold, we've got micro bubbles all the way around those edges where the two resin layers meet. So always learning, guys, always little lessons and little mistakes. And I mentioned it in the last video, it's imperative to do it. And yet here I am forgetting all about it, but we live and we learn. Now, you saw me show the gold pen there. Part of me wondered if I should fill out this ammonite inlay with gold pen, or does it just look raw and organic? And the more I stared at it, I shared a video with my patrons over on my Patreon page asking them what they would do. Like, what would you do? Would you purely gold it back out and make it solid gold in there? Or do you think that the black coming through actually adds texture, makes it look like an historic ammonite carved straight out of a rock? And yeah, the general consensus was, do not touch it, leave it well alone. It definitely gives it depth. It works. So thank you so much to my patrons. I need you guys here with me all the time. Yeah, I love it. And the more I thought about it, the gold pens that I've got are actually a different gold to the gold foil, so that it kind of wouldn't look right anyway. It would be two different golds. But let me know your thoughts. Honestly, I know for a fact this is going to be a love or hate. And some are going to think it's pretty cool and some are going to think absolutely not for me. But I'm glad it worked out this way. I'm glad that we didn't get full coverage now on that inlay, because I just feel like it looks to me like it's been carved out of marble. Does that make sense? Even though it isn't a marble resin effect, it does look very marble-esque, and it looks like it could have been an actual fossil, ammonite fossil, found in a marble rock and chiseled out. But yeah, I absolutely love it. And again, like I said at the beginning, I'm struggling because there's 10 other ideas I want to try. I'm not going to carry on just doing the same video over and over, but I definitely have one more in me, guys. I have one more in me. Will it be the actual next video? I'm not so sure, but we are gonna have a play. A few did ask as well if this could be done with eco, and absolutely yes, so maybe I'll do one with eco. I'm playing with the idea of putting even more in a mold, like just 2 ammonites and a shell, and seeing what that looks like as well. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. I hope you enjoy this one. Let me know what you would do color wise, technique wise. You know, would you use mica on the whole thing? I also think it would be beautiful just mica, the whole thing, just mica backed in black, and see what results we get there, because again, mica's a beautiful thing on its own. Chameleon, I mean, I'm actually thinking of chameleon powder. But yeah, I've enjoyed this one, and there's a little necklace in there as well, just to demonstrate it would be a trinket dish. I will see you all in the next video. Bye.